Hey, how's it going? So, before I start this review, well, it's not really a review, it's more of an overview, because I can't actually install this in the car yet, so I can't actually review it until the car's done. And being as how the car is currently in this state, and the transmission's there, and the engine's still over there. It's going to be a little while before I can install this clutch into the vehicle and actually test it to give it an actual review. This is more so just me going over it and giving you my general impressions over it. Not that my opinion matters, because I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm not a professional. I'm a hobbyist. I just thought it would be a good idea to kind of do an overview of it and share the information with everyone else. I know everyone's thinking, oh, well, it's a clutch. You only want to do that job once or whatever. But honestly, it takes 30 minutes to drop a transmission out of this car. It's really not that big of a deal to change a clutch in it. Plus, it's not my daily, so it's not a huge deal. The clutch is crap when I can just park it and get back to it later. I'm trying to be as objective as possible when looking at this stuff. I'm not trying to persuade you to buy. I'm not trying to persuade you not to buy. I'm just simply presenting you what I see. Alright, so here she is. This clutch is by XTD, also known as Aimco Clutch Company. They're located out of Los Angeles, as most companies that come from offshore tend to set up shop. So, do a little initial unboxing. This is the XTD Stage 4 clutch for the Mazda Miata. It's not going into a Miata, it's going into a Ford Escort, but miraculously the clutches are the same. I was really thinking that the distance between the throwout bearing and bell housing and all that stuff would make the clutch somewhat different, but from experts in Ford Escorts or front wheel drive BG chassis, I've been informed that the clutches are the same, although when I compare the deck height to the clutch that was in the vehicle, it does seem a little different, but we'll see how that works out. So this isn't just a clutch. I also went ahead and decided to get the flywheel. My reasoning for that, also this did not come with the clutch. It would be nice. So like I said, this is the XTD Stage 4 clutch and lightweight chromoly flywheel. And this is just an overview. This is just, my initial opinion of quality of the product. So, let's look at this flywheel first. I already say it's definitely a lot lighter than the stock flywheel. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about it other than it's a flywheel. I can't, looks like it has a nice surface machined on it. Looks flat, doesn't look bent. Appears to be powder coated. Could be paint, probably powder coated. Looks powder coated. No loose pins, holes look straight. Pretty simple thing to manufacture. Looking at forums, a lot of the Miata guys actually love this thing because you can buy it for like 160 bucks. I mean, it's compared to the 300 and something dollars that some of the name brand flywheels go for. So you get your clutch install tool and pilot bearing. Looks like a sealed unit. Maybe I'll look up that serial number, see who makes it. Yeah, there's no other information on it, so who knows who manufactures it, but so it's about a $5 bearing. Well, here's a company selling it for $6. No, it's for $10. So it feels smooth. Feels like it. Normally on something like this, a part that's going to. I'll probably run it. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't seem chintzy or anything. So, but it's something to think about when you, if you do buy a clutch like this, or you do buy one of these XTDs or XTR or any of the eBay brands. I think they're actually all owned. I think XTR, XTD, and there's one other, I can't remember the name right now, but I think they're all sold, they're all made by Aimco and sold under different names. So, but this is something I would look at. This is one of those parts where you'd hate to have to pull everything back apart because this fails. I don't know, just take a look at it. It doesn't... I'll do some more research on that serial number and see who exactly manufactures it, but it'll probably be fine. So, install tool. It comes with, these are pressure plate bolts. Probably not going to run these because I bought some nice hardened bolts, some nice hardware. So, but these don't look bad, honestly, even though they've been opened and closed. That's sketchy. That's weird as hell. That kind of bothers me. It's been previously opened and then like taped back shut with like packing tape. It's kind of weird. I can't imagine why someone would do that, but it doesn't matter anyways because I'm not using them. So, but yeah, little things like this. You know, if I was a company like this, God, they weigh like nothing. If I was a company like this, and they're probably not bad. They say they're 10.9, so maybe they are, you know, hardened hardware. But you know, things like this, things like hardware, that's an area where places tend to skimp. You know, strategically save money. I don't know. I'd probably just get other hardware for peace of mind. Alright, and we got throwout bearing. In the past, I know that these Chinese throwout bearings were problematic. They would have tons of slop in them and would fail or be noisy. I really don't care about being noisy because I mean it's a completely gutted Ford Escort with pretty flow-through exhaust. You know, it's noisy already. That's a pretty dang good throw. That's like the best throwout bearing I think I've ever. It's not bad. Nice, and there's no slop. I mean, I've had some. I mean, God, yeah, there's like zero slop in there. So yeah, I might actually run this. I was planning on perhaps running to AutoZone and picking. So yeah, I was planning on like running to AutoZone or something like that and seeing what they had to see if they had anything that might be better quality. But honestly, this is better than expected. So see if I can find any information online because that's all I do. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm just a guy that has a curiosity, knows how to use Google, and is willing to sacrifice his money for the sake of saving money, or potentially saving money. Amazon. Timken clutch release bearing. Never heard of $30 clutch release. So yeah, this seems like, you know, it's on Rock Auto. Oh wow, they're actually located in Ohio. Well, that's really interesting. American-made part in a Chinese clutch kit. Can't beat that. So, like I said, you know, it's always good to, you know, before you run this stuff on your car, do a little research. Even if you decide to buy it after the fact, look it up and see what you find out about it because you might be surprised. I was going to just buy another throwout bearing and I probably would have ended up with the exact same one. I'm going to go ahead and send it. It's a lot better than the one that was in the car. So I'm going to show it to you, but I think I already threw it away. So, on to the next part. Let's take a look at this pressure plate. So, there are no serial numbers on this, and if there are serial numbers on it, they've been strategically hidden. It smells like, God, what's that paint? It's not like an acrylic paint, it's like a lacquer-based paint. It's kind of weird. Anyways, probably stop smelling random things. So I don't see anything that stands out, that jumps out at me, that could be a problem. Everything looks uniform. Castings look fine. There's a little weird... Focus, you fuck. So yeah, there's a little weird imperfection right about there. That's a little strange. Yeah, that's the only strange thing I noticed on that. I don't wonder how that would affect the weight. Slightly off balance, you know. Yeah, as far as I can tell, everything looks pretty good. Diaphragm is even. There's no teeth that are out of alignment or anything. The cover, I mean, it looks fine. I don't see anything that jumps out at me. All the rivets are riveted properly. Nothing's loose. Like I said, diaphragm's fine. I forget what that ring's called. The ring that keeps the diaphragm in place. Is that a solid ring? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's welded. Huh. I'll be damned. Yeah, the ring that holds the diaphragm in place is one piece. It's not like a C-clip. The anti-buckling straps are tightly riveted in, it appears. Mating surface looks good. Nice and flat. Nothing of any concern. So, of course the question is, you know, they say that this is a heavy-duty pressure plate. There's no way for me to test, you know, just how strong this pressure plate is, especially without a frame of reference. I don't have a stock pressure plate anywhere. So that's going to be the question, because I mean, when you have an aftermarket clutch or you have a performance clutch, the biggest thing that's going to control how much that clutch can hold is the clamping force of the pressure plate. Friction material kind of sort of plays into it, but more than anything else, it's the ability of the pressure plate to hold. So if it's like a stock pressure plate, it may not hold. You know, I think they say 300 horse and 290 or something foot-pounds of torque. I was really hoping there would have been a serial number on this thing somewhere so that I could look it up, but it appears to not have one. But yeah, it seems, just from a visual inspection standpoint, it looks fine. It doesn't look like something, I mean, it looks quality. It doesn't look like there's anything, there's nothing that jumps out that, you know, concerns me. Except for that paint job. That paint job's really, really horrible. Maybe it's powder coated. No, that's not powder coating. That is just, yeah, no, that's. So next thing is the clutch disc. Oh yeah, get that XTD sticker, throw that out on the car. It's an extra 10 horse. And XTD installation guide. Demand the best. Demand XTD. Very general installation instructions, but obviously if you're doing a clutch by yourself, you're probably, should probably know what you're doing. You probably shouldn't really need instructions. So this is the disc. So yeah, I wanted to eliminate possible failure points, so I went with a solid disc. This car isn't necessarily a daily. I mean, I will drive it on the street a lot, probably to and from work just for shiggles. But, you know, it's a project car. It's not my daily driver. I've been driving on a solid disc for a while. So, you know, I've driven with an unsprung hub before. Reason why I went with an unsprung hub is because I wanted to eliminate possible failure points. I wasn't sure of the quality of the product, so I didn't want to, you know, introduce something in there that might break. Plus with, you know, I'm not saying this car is a high horsepower car, but it should be somewhere around 300 horse, maybe 400. I don't know. Let's go for about 400. But anyways, this is one of the things that tends to fail on a clutch is well, not this, but the the spring-loaded hub. You can, it's allowed to move if you jar it enough or if you hit it hard enough. You can dislodge those springs, or I know there's some that have captive springs or whatnot, but I just wanted to not have to worry about that. So yeah, so something performance I'm going to beat on. It's not necessary. Yeah, it might beat up the transmission a little bit more, but it's whatever. So things I look for in this: make sure these rivets are nice and tight. Hopefully they remain tight. I don't know what they're made of. Hopefully they're, something fairly solid that's going to put up with the abuse. So yeah, pads are just riveted onto the to the disc. Oh, there is a part number on this one. I love part numbers. More digging. Let's see what this one comes up with. So I do get. So yeah, this may be an in-house part number for XTD, because the only thing I can even remotely pops up is parts from XTD. So maybe this is actually manufactured by them. Yeah, this one was actually made by a shop in South Florida. I can't remember their name right now, but they actually made clutches. So previous owner of the car was having trouble holding. I think he was making something insane like 380 or something at the wheels, and not really insane, but previous owner was making like 380 at the wheels and was just going through clutches. So he had a bespoke clutch made for the Escort. So yeah, not really much to say about it. I mean, it's not much to say about it yet. I mean, so far it all looks good. Looks can be deceiving, but yeah, I don't see any misalignments. Everything looks to be staked properly. Yeah, the clutch pads are a little uneven on the disc, but I don't think that's like a huge deal. But yeah, like I said, everything looks pretty good to me. And when I say it looks good, I don't mean like, all right, this is a good product, go out and buy one. What I mean is that there's nothing that jumps out. There's nothing that, concerns me enough to not want to put this in the car. It looks like a clutch. It looks like it should work. So yeah, one thing I might do is see if I can find a place that could potentially balance this for me, make sure it's balanced. That's probably my only other area of concern. So yeah, that pretty much concludes my quick little overview of this guy. Like I said, there's not a whole lot I can really do in an overview other than show you the parts and kind of tell you what I'm looking at. Like I said, doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad to me. It looks. Hopefully it holds. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, in a couple of weeks I should have this inside the car, and I can give you my initial impressions of it. So don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell for notifications so that you'll be notified when I upload the second half of this.